What if I told you you could help tens of thousands of people live a better life without ever leaving your couch?
By just clicking on a thumbnail and watching a video, you can help provide electricity to villages, rebuild entire towns, and save rhinos from extinction. It's because of every one of you supporting the Beast Philanthropy channel that we were able to accomplish all of this in 2024. We kicked off the year by traveling to a secluded village in Guatemala called Guan. The people of this remote village struggle with the basic necessities of life like clean water, safe housing, and proper education. Not to mention powerful storms that can destroy their hand-built, rudimentary homes.
We want to come and help this community. We want to make a big difference for them.
So in just 4 days, we built 15 new houses that are fully equipped with everything these people need to live much more comfortably. And it was finally time for these people to move into their new homes.
Let's cut the ribbon.
On top of that, we also built a community center, providing additional classrooms for the school, as well as facilities that can be used to teach the women of the village new skills to support their families and community.
Estamos felices con todo. Me sentí muy contento.
Next up, we headed to Mexico, where we worked with Operation Smile to provide aid to people born with a cleft lip and palate. Every year, over 200,000 children are born with these conditions, leading to many problems eating, breathing, and talking. Worst of all, these kids face bullying and isolation from other children. People of rural and poor communities often receive little to no treatment at all. We wanted to help, so we partnered with Operation Smile to pay for 100 surgeries.
They're going to be having a life change forever.
After the procedure is completed, many of these children will be able to smile for the first time.
Our patients are going to have the opportunity to actually have a normal life.
The Beast Philanthropy team then flew out to Nepal and traveled to the remote village of Kloagan. After a warm welcome, we found out more about the problems these locals face due to their isolation. This community has no electricity, meaning that local doctors have no access to proper medical equipment. If more complex care was needed, it would take hours to walk to a better medical facility. Darren met up with a local Give Power engineer named Sanjay, who told him a tragic story about Neera.
She had to travel in the monsoon roads, and then since the birthing center was far away, she couldn't reach the birthing center and had to lose the baby.
And due to a lack of government funding, this hospital would not get electricity until at least 2030. Together with our partners Give Power and the Green Program, we installed a solar power system and batteries to power the hospital, as well as provide the equipment needed to create a safe and modern birthing center. Together with the community, we turned a broken building with no electricity into a fully operational hospital that will service over 16,000 people in this community. Later that night, the whole village came to the hospital to witness the lights turn on for the first time.
Are you ready?
Seeing the lights come on for the first time in a community, it never gets old.
Over the year, we completed 3 projects in Africa, starting off in Uganda, where hundreds of thousands of local people in rural villages live in extreme poverty.
Most of these people live off of as little as $1 or $2 a day, meaning getting an education, starting a business, receiving adequate health care, or even electricity is nearly impossible.
To help alleviate this problem, we teamed up with Give Directly to dispense cash grants directly to hundreds of families in a community to give them a chance to lift themselves and their families out of the cycle of generational poverty they had been trapped in.
When cash goes to a community, even business in that community is boosted. This cash enables them to go for their needs.
Together with Give Directly, we were able to fund around 300 local families with a cash grant equivalent to what they would earn in a typical year.
For hundreds of years going back, these people have not had opportunity, but now, moving forward, they have opportunity. And they can now build a stronger future, not just for themselves, but for the generations that follow.
Next, we traveled to Zambia and visited our friend Dora from one of our previous projects.
5 years ago, she moved to Mapapa along with 4 adopted children and started making TikTok videos to raise money to build a school and village for kids in desperate need. And very quickly, her account grew to over 4 million followers.
And she now cares for almost 400 children. But despite her best efforts, the cost of supporting all these kids is an ongoing challenge. And along with many other problems they were facing, Dora's village was still in need of basic necessities. So we got to work and put in a well for fresh drinking water, bought Dora a brand new car so she wouldn't break down on her long journeys for supplies, installed internet so she can continue making content to generate the funds needed to support the kids, tripled their solar capacity, and rebuilt a dormitory that was destroyed in a devastating storm.
So as of today, this house will no longer be called the boys' house. It will be called the Beast Philanthropy House.
Every one of us has the ability to make a difference in somebody else's life.
Next, we went to Kenya, where we visited the Mara and met up with the local rangers that protect the endangered wildlife. Lack of electricity and monitoring equipment have made their jobs far more difficult and dangerous. We met with Daniel, the CEO of the Maasai Conservancies, to learn more about the challenges they face. The downfall in the Mara all started 60 years ago when the land was divided and given to the Maasai people for private ownership. This led to investors buying the land for development and exploitation of resources. Many Maasai had no choice but to accept the money, abandoning their ancestral heritage and putting the habitat that millions of Maasai and animals rely on at risk of being destroyed. To combat this problem, the Conservancies came up with environmentally friendly revenue streams that could be used to lease the land from the landowners so that it could be conserved and protected for the Maasai people and the animals. To help the Maasai Conservancies, we worked with Give Power to provide the ranger stations with clean, renewable energy so they never have to work in the dark again. We also provided them with enough funds for 7 new weather stations, which now collect data needed to generate carbon credits to fund the expansion of the Maasai Conservancy. This project allows them to have a sustainable source of income to continue their work and keep the Mara as it was for centuries.
Those people who are considered as custodians of wild animals are now benefiting because it is actually providing income to thousands and thousands of households. We are also ensuring that the new generations will have to continue what we have started.
After tens of thousands of requests, we finally made our way to India, starting in New Delhi, for not one, but 2 projects. First, Darren met with Dr. Modi, the founder of the Udayan Care Program, where orphaned and abandoned children are given a loving and caring environment to give them a fair chance at a life different to the one they were born into. We were so moved by the exceptional work of Udayan Care that we decided to fund all operating costs for the shelter in New Delhi for a year, as well as pay for 280 scholarships. After we wrapped up that project, Darren traveled to Kolkata for the most heartbreaking project we have done to date, where young children work up to 14 hours a day, collecting scrap in dangerous landfills in the hopes of salvaging enough scrap to buy a bowl of rice. Without access to an education, these children have no hope of a future beyond these trash dumps. It is because of a nonprofit called Tijala Shed that tens of thousands of underprivileged children have been rescued from the dumps and are now getting an education and a chance at a better life. To help Tijala expand their operation and create more opportunities for these children, we funded the entire Tijala Shed program for the whole year. While we were working with Tijala, we learned that many of these children come from homes where there is not enough food to eat a single meal every day. So Darren called some of his old friends who agreed to fund a food program for at least 2 years. And then another huge shout out to Tony and Sage Robbins, who saw the video and immediately pledged to fund the entire program for an additional year, as well as extend the food program for 2 additional years. Now is a great time to mention something else. On almost every project we've done, the organizations we highlight get incredible support from around the world when people see the outstanding work they do and the difference they make. This is one of the ways we make a much bigger difference than just what is shown in this video, and we couldn't do any of this without you. While we were in India, we launched another project with a toy company called Play Shifu. They make incredible educational toys and donated $1 million worth to give to underprivileged children around the world. The kids really enjoy playing with these toys without even realizing that they are learning. I wish I had stuff like that when I was in school.
This is going to go on to bless 190 pediatric cancer warriors. Thank you guys so much.
We are so happy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This year, we managed to complete 4 projects in America. 5 if you count the more than 20 million pounds of food we distributed to food insecure people across the country. But that is an ongoing project and we didn't make a video. It's really kind of crazy when you think about it. 4 years ago, we started with a goal of distributing 400,000 meals a year. Now we're doing over 20 million, and we are aiming to double it again next year. The first video in America was with our long-term partners at Electric E-Bikes. Together, we gave away over 600 electric bikes across the country to people who needed transportation to get to school, work, medical appointments, and just have reliable transportation.
Thank you, MrBeast.
Because now I won't be standing still. I'll be slowly moving forward to the next goal in my life.
We then visited a nonprofit school in Atlanta where the kids sing and dance in class. Ron and Kim, the founders of this amazing school, have discovered a different way to interact with kids that actually makes education fun. They have taught their method to over 100,000 teachers around the world, and the results are always the same. Incredible. So we decided to partner up with Stand Together and Victra to pay for over 200 teachers from around the country to visit the Ron Clark Academy in Atlanta so that they could take this program back to their own schools.
When you affect the life of a child, you do not only affect the life of that child. Everybody that one day that child's life will have an impact upon. Every teacher needs to realize it could be in the millions of lives.
But really, we just want to make great people who love others and want to use their talents to make a difference in the lives of the people that they're around.
For the next project, we traveled to Texas where we met up with David.
Visualize the last time you wish you didn't wake up.
David was an NFL star who found a stronger purpose helping people who had suffered catastrophic injuries adapt to their new lives. This was one of the most inspiring videos we have ever done.
I was presented with the opportunity to come to the Adaptive Training Foundation. It was life-changing.
I don't believe there's anything that you can't do. You just have to find an adaptable way to do it.
Understanding the adversity these people had faced and seeing them overcome a devastating and permanent injury only to become stronger and more confident is a great lesson to all of us for when we are faced with adversity. Together with Stand Together, we donated $250,000 to ATF so David can help more people as well as train more coaches to spread his program across the world.
We're not going to make this gym about changing the world for them. We wanted to change them for the world.
And for our last project of 2024, we traveled to Tampa, Florida to work with an organization who are literally giving people their smiles back. Severe dental disease robs people of their confidence, their health, and worst of all, their smiles, which are such an essential form of human interaction.
And it was a certain picture that I looked at. Like, this is not me. Like, a smile, to me, means a lot.
I've had little kids point out, going, Mommy, what's wrong with her mouth? I mean, it's embarrassing. I don't have any pictures with milestones in my kid's life because I wouldn't smile and I wouldn't be on camera.
Nuvia Dental Implants donated $1 million in services to give 20 patients 1 million new reasons to smile. Our goal is to not only put smiles back on the faces of these patients, but to leave a smile on the faces of every single person we come into contact with on these projects.
On behalf of everyone at Sharing Excess, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to
Beast Philanthropy.
Beast Philanthropy.
Beast Philanthropy.
Beast Philanthropy has supported us in many, many ways.
They've been an incredible organization.
Shout out to Darren, Dan, Jimmy, man. We're so grateful for you guys.
You are amazing. You are a star.
Thank you, Beast Philanthropy, for your continuous support.
I am so proud of the Beast Philanthropy team and everything that this charity has accomplished this year. Beast Philanthropy is not my charity, it's our charity, and we could not do any of this work without you guys who watch the channel.